Oh, hi! I guess I didn't see you there. You may recognize this as my neighbor Mrs. Savage's flooded flea house, that little collab that we did with Midwest Magic Cleaning a few weeks ago. When we filmed that, all we were doing was getting all the trash and the belongings out of here into the dumpster and getting the house cleaned up so she could hopefully start doing some of the repairs. Well, the time has come for us to lend a hand on that matter, so follow me. Now, what made it the flooded flea house was that this here fridge had sprung a leak unbeknownst to us and had covered the entire kitchen, got into parts of the living room, the back room, and this bedroom right here. Surprisingly, kitchen floor is actually pretty okay. Our primary concern is this bathroom back here. Now, I'm sure it's hard to tell from the video, but this floor is horribly, horribly sunken in beneath the vanity and the toilet. So what we're going to do is pop those out, use the leftover plywood from Miss B's daycare job, and put in a new floor for her here in the bathroom. But who's we? Well, we's me. And who's me? I'm... This part's probably gonna be a little gross. Those are nice. Gross. I'm gonna have to move the camera to get that one, so you guys will just have to use your imaginations. I hate how the plumber did this. A lot of redundancy without purpose, but then such is life, and so am I. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Rick the Jerk, and this channel is intended to be as a celebration of the practice of random acts of kindness in all of its forms. My chosen variety as a professional handy person by trade is fixing up folks' homes for free or doing stuff for people I like dirt cheap.
Piece of junk.
We've been in quite the pickle lately, though, so the free jobs have been harder to make happen. We'll get there again, I have faith. But this job, my neighbor approached me about and asked if I could try to get the house livable enough for some family to stay here for a while. Since the last time we were here was for the channel, I thought it appropriate in that sense to show the progress, at least. As I mentioned earlier, it's hard to see in the video, but the floor had a huge soft spot in the middle that needed attention. So first order was to get all the fixtures disconnected and out of the way so I could start piecing the floor out. All right. A few years back, I kind of made my name in the area doing floor restorations, mostly stuff like this, replacing bathroom subfloors and doing them throughout houses, jacking houses up, leveling floors, putting new flooring in, that kind of thing. And for the demo portion, what I like to do is try to identify where all the floor joists are. I know they're running east to west in this house, so I'll cut this way to find them, and then I'll take my circular saw and cut along one side of them so I can kind of pry them out to get them loose. I was really hoping to have help for this part, but it's the weekend. Only person I can call on right now is Muff Dog, and he's got his kids on the weekend, so I'm not going to bother him and just see what I can get done by myself. Here we go. Yay. If you're wondering why I was spitting, swearing, and all grumpy, it's because I thought there was only one layer of subfloor in here, and there's two. So that means we don't have enough plywood. And I had to bug Mrs. Savage for money for materials, which I didn't want to do, but here we are. No, it's never fun to have to break the news to a customer that we need more stuff, but it happens a lot, especially with the really old houses. Brief side quest, just because I can hear it on here, so I assume maybe some of you might if you have like headphones or something. But if you hear talking coming out of my head, it's just Brendan Lee Mulligan and the gang from Dimension 20 on Dropout.tv. Hashtag not sponsored. I'm listening to Fantasy High sophomore year right now. I got curious a while back after their show Game Changer kept showing up in my algorithm, and I got all interested in it and found out that Dropout was the phoenix that arose from the College Humor ashes. If any of you guys remember collegehumor.com, AJ and I became instant huge fans of the network and all their shows. I highly recommend it if you're into weird comedians being their absolute best selves together, improv comedy, or you like tabletop gameplay, etc., things and stuff. Fancy maneuvers going on here with the reciprocating saw. I do question my life choices a lot on just about every job. There's always some moment where things seem like they're never going to end, or when things start to get too painful or too hard in the moment. I breathe and try to remind myself that it's just that moment, that it's all temporary. Nothing is forever. This is all going to pass, whether it's the pain, the frustration, or just the moment itself. Situation will change soon, or I will. Things either get better or we get better at them, right, gang? Yeah. Now, normally I would have started at the back and worked my way out, but because that piece in front had already collapsed through, I just went ahead and pulled it. Not like it matters anyway, because I can't step on the pieces that have already been cut, or I'll fall through the floor. But still, I like to work back to front. Now, I know what you're all thinking. This has got to be hands down the finest camera work I have ever done. I'm sorry, I promise I'm not trying to turn this into a faceless channel. Hell, I've got my stupid face on everything, from shirts to cups to my broken down truck, LOL. No, I've just really sucked at setting my camera up to have me in frame lately for some reason. I don't know what's going on. This here is a fancy highfalutin technique I developed a few years ago when my crew at the time renovated a local apartment building. We had like 12 units to gut, back to the studs and the joists. We took everything out: walls, floors, ceilings, even the insulation. When you've only got 2 to 3 guys tearing out tens of thousands of square feet of flooring, you tend to develop a system pretty quickly, and this was ours. Previously, the maneuver was one man would cut, the other would walk behind him and stomp the cuts out, prying them in one direction. Then another guy would walk along in the crawl space, like you'll see me doing here shortly, and pry in the other direction. Using that technique, the sections usually come up fairly easily. Thanks for coming to my floor demo Fred talk. To years of bathroom dirt straight in the mouth. Good times. Now, on that job I was just talking about, what we do is have the man that was pulling the waste would stack it off to the side, and one of the guys up top would pile them into a wheelbarrow, and then the third man would then truck them out to the dumpster. Now, I don't have all those luxuries here, so I just manhandled them out to the burn pile behind the house. That's one bonus of us living in such a rural area, that on small jobs like this, we're able to just burn the trash a lot of the time and then save on dumpster fees. I can't always be harassing our buddy Justin at Jaeger Land Service after all. Here I'm finally getting the real culprit in the matter. Honestly, I could have probably just patched this section around the toilet and the bathroom would have been usable for a few more years or longer, but I figured we had most of the materials already, so better to do it right one time than half-ass it several times over the coming years, yeah? Yeah. Jesus, and crackers for that matter. This stuff, man, look at how rotten. obviously I realized here we need to replace that joist in front of me, or at least sister a new one onto it. I think that's the route we ended up going. It always seems like the more rotten pieces like this end up being more stubborn to remove. I don't know if it's because half the wood is rotten, so it's not fighting back like you need it to pry nails, or something to do with the rust on the fasteners, but it's always the problem pieces that are the most problematic. Go figure, right? Okay, we're at that point. We're 10 minutes in now, and I'm going to ask that if you made it this far in the video, obviously you're into something about it, or you just haven't changed it yet. So please take a second to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Ring that bell if you want to see more of this crap. It costs you guys nothing, and it's just a way of letting YouTube know more people to like my videos and see them and things and show it to people and stuff. Looking at the numbers, it shows that half of you aren't even subscribed, even though you keep coming back, you sneaky snakes. And I see you out there, you cheeky monkeys. Unfortunately, I am now dead in the water until Monday, because that is going to need replaced, or at least sistered onto, because it is rotten all around where that vanity and toilet were. That's the whole reason the floor was sagging there. And it's Saturday, so I won't be able to get any lumber until Monday. So this is just going to have to wait, I guess. And I have to get further behind. Yay. See you in a couple days.
2 days later.
Welcome to day 2 of fixing Mrs. Savage's bathroom. Kind of. Maybe. Who knows? Ow. Before I go any farther, I've got to get the nails cleared off of these joists, get this last piece pulled off here, and then we need to doctor this joist up here. You guys probably can't see from that angle. It's rotten over by the toilet. And then there's one more joist just past it that is completely obliterated, not even there anymore. There have been repairs done in here before, so this has been an ongoing issue. You can see where a previous carpenter had done some stuff. I'll show that to you here in a minute. You can't see it right now, so there's no point in me talking about it. I don't even know if you can see my face, because that's something I learned pre-editing last night, that I was out of frame a bunch, and now I'm paranoid about it, so I'm just going to be weird. I know, big change, right? When doing stuff like this, if the nails are too difficult to pull or you don't want to pull them, it's perfectly acceptable to just beat the living hell out of them and get them all knocked in. The main thing is we can't have them sticking up, because we're about to put new wood down, so it's got to be flush with the joists. Oh no, I missed this guy. Yay. Alright. On to the next task. Which is going to be cutting up stud lumber joist things. Wood. We cut the wood. I also have to pee. But there's no toilet. Well, just you use your imagination. This should give you guys a better idea of what I was trying to say earlier. See this one? He's all chewed up and nasty over here near where the toilet was. And then, I don't know if you can see it from there, but notice how on that side of the pipe, there's a joist here. And on this side of the pipe, there's nothing. That's because it completely rotted away. Whoever worked on this before just left it that way. So we're going to cheat some 2x4s in over here, because somehow I didn't notice that the other day. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Since I'm ill-prepared, as always, we're going to put the new 2x8 right here to replace or sister onto this joist. And then back here, we're going to stack 2 2x4s on top of each other to make an adequate support system for the end piece. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do over here. I think, show you guys what I'm talking about there. See, we don't have a joist under the bathtub and shower, which I mean, there is one a few inches in, but I'd feel a lot better if this was supported across. So I'll probably put some cripples in here. 2x4s running from there to there, there to there, something like that. There we go. Yeah, since I got you guys down. This is what I was talking about. See, and it just rotted out, and rather than repair or replace it, whoever worked on this before me just left it that way. And then this one, you can see the state it's in. So, yeah, that's what we're doing next. The question is going to be, can I get it down there without cutting it? Yeah. Oh, too long by a bit. Well then, it's on top of that, not against it. Okay, that's a little different then. Don't break the window. There we go. Okay. That's one. Probably ought to put a couple screws in that too. Just because I can see that working itself loose over time. Eventually. Yeah, I can stand on it now without panicking. Ow. 18 1/4-ish. There I was just verbally stating measurements to help me not forget as I cut these short cripples to help sturdify and strengthulate this here floor around the damaged areas. And you saw there I get the new joist sistered in, so that should prevent the floor around the toilet from sagging again. Looking back, I do kind of wish I put some blocking in around the toilet, but it's too late now, you can imagine. Get the sawdust off my wiener.
Mr. Dingaling! Diddle-diddle-dee.
Ha-ha! I'm using the Milwaukee 2745-20 cordless framing nailer, powered by Milwaukee Fuel. Milwaukee, baby. Taste the thunder. Ain't going nowhere. Get in this side or not. Yeah. Okay. Better than nothing. Now, I gotta set this side up for success. Now that I did that, it's not where I wanted to do it, but phase 1 complete. We have demoed and we have rebuilt. Next, it's time to start laying down a subfloor. Oh boy. Let go. 6. 4x6. So away we go. Did it. Did that. Gotta notch out a little doober right there. I think I'm gonna need more cripples over there. Get a flange too. I gotta run the rusty nail. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back from the rusty nail. They sell 2x4s as far as lumber goes, and that's it. So, one of those working with what I got situations. As always. It's a bit of a thunderstorm rolling through. So, we might lose lights. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So what I'm huffing and puffing and making all my dad sounds about here is that there is a joist under the bathtub there. It's just set back a good like 6 to 8 inches. And I don't want Mrs. Savage's brand new floor just floating out there in space. What's going to be a high trafficked area, and just for safety reasons, considering folks are going to be getting in and out of the tub right here, we want to be sure that the floor is very sturdy under their feet. So hence the short lengths of 2x4 that I'm installing in this part. Sorry, you guys had to miss out on the action for that one. Trust me, there's a 2x4 there now. You'll just have to trust me. I don't know if you guys can see from there what's going on or not, but this little outcropping in the wall right here, I've got to get around it. So it's a little chunk I got to cut out. I'm going to have to stand this back up just to cut it. I am starving. I made myself a little cheat sheet there with all the measurements and things and stuff. Now we're gonna do the thing. Oh! Whole thing's 33 deep by 40. Slag, waste, and refuse. Be gone, foul devil. This project has no place for the likes of you. Those of you that may be wondering, probably nobody, just so you guys know, this plywood is actually left over from our last GoFundMe. Not the one that helped us get through the bills and stuff right now, but the one from Miss B at her daycare. We had this plywood was left over, so we saved it. If you guys missed that, it's a 4-part series where we restored a bedroom walls and other stuff and in-home daycare for a friend of ours, Miss B. Over here to behind me, you'll possibly see a scrolling list of our members for the early month of May. Thanks, members. Members, oh dear sweet members, we do appreciate you guys more than you know. You are very intelligent and attractive beings for sure. The vast majority of our YouTube income is from you guys, and I do apologize for not making you more content lately. It's been hard to find the time right now, or the stuff to even film. And speaking of appreciation, I'll take this moment to thank everyone that has donated or shared to the medical GoFundMe that we have up. You guys are nothing short of angels during this difficult and troublesome period for us. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys. All right, let's see how we did. That was a masterful save. Did you see that? My earbud almost went down the crapper hole, and I caught it just before. Wow. That was astounding. Great job, Rick. Proud of me. I mean, it was a pretty good save, and we've got to take the little victories when they come, fam. I don't care who you are. I think everyone feels awesome in those moments where it's almost like time slows down. I could see my earbud falling into the toilet hole in slow motion as my hand darted out to grab it, almost without me even thinking about it. And here, I knew working around this plumbing would be the most difficult piece. So I'm starting here to get it out of the way to get back on track. I was getting pretty wore out here, though, so this workday is getting close to wrapping up, I think. I wanted to get further since I knew the next day was my last chance to get done before AJ's surgery, but I just didn't have it in me. I think that's all I got for today. My back is killing me. Yep, that's it for day 2, I think. Oh, hi. Welcome to day 3 of Mrs. Savage's fixing the bathroom and maybe the closet probably. So I already got started a little bit and just forgot to hit record, so deal with it. Just kidding. That's as far as we got, no big deal. Just trying to make stuff fit in places. Same kind of thing here, different technique. Starting at the plumbing, obviously, since that was one of the only things I had to work around to get it out of the way. To install it more effectively, I've got the grain running perpendicular on this layer, and I'm starting to stagger or offset all these cuts to limit airflow and moisture. Not really making the progress I wanted to here, but I was hurting pretty bad by this point. Hadn't taken very much downtime, and it was starting to get to me. I pushed myself as much as I could because AJ had to go in for her surgery the following day, so I knew this was my last chance to get everything as close to done as I could for a few days at least. I needed to be home with the kids while she was in the hospital, and however long it took her to heal up, be able to get around once she was home. She ended up surprising me, though, with how quickly she recovered, so I was only down for a couple of days while I was home with her. Bad sounds! Hey guys, so today is my first day back since AJ's surgery. It's Monday. She's been home since Friday. She was able to get around pretty good on her own the last couple days, so I'm finally comfortable leaving her with the girls. I'm gonna start out today. There is an unavoidable gap around the bathtub because I couldn't get under it without actually damaging the tub itself with this floor, so there's like a small like half-inch gap along here that air is going to be able to get through. So I'm going to use some Great Stuff expansion foam to fill that up, as has already kind of been employed here in a few places where the corners are separating and stuff. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get the rest of the subfloor screwed down and start with the Luan that's going to go on top of that. As I said, first day back here from AJ's surgery, she did amazing. She came home the next day, and by day 3 or 4, she was getting around on her own pretty well. Thank you to everyone that's been checking on her and wishing her a healthy recovery. So both layers of subflooring down. Next order of business is closing these gaps that I mentioned. Like I said in an earlier voiceover, I would have preferred to get all the way under the bathtub with our plywood, but that just wasn't going to happen without going under the house and complicating things much more than necessary. All that business handled, time to make some skillful plunge cuts in the Luan before realizing I wasn't going to be able to make it fit as one piece and then having to cut it in half anyway. I was hoping to get the Luan down before the foam fully cured so I could make like a little insulated ice cream sandwich out of the gaps, but it did harden before I got that far, so I had to make a few cuts and modifications in a few places for everything to fit right. And of course I'm using my cordless Milwaukee Fuel narrow crown stapler there to secure everything down. Today should be the final whatever day here on this one. Gonna get the floor laid down, I got some trim picked up, and then we're out of here. Well, I'll put everything back where it was, then we're out of here. As I said there, this was in fact the final day at Mrs. Savage's. Starting out there, getting the toilet flange secured before moving on to the flooring. I always dread the final voiceover block, and I'm not sure why. It's always my most difficult, though, to write or come up with what to say. I think it's because I never want to just jabber at you guys, though I know I do sometimes. And I want the things I say in these videos to carry at least some substance or some weight. Whether it's educational or inspirational or just giving you some kind of glimpse a little further into our lives. I know we've been going through it a lot for quite some time. And those of you that have been following our story know it too. We're still going through changes. And I don't know what it's all going to mean for the channel. I hope we can keep the theme and the mission alive, but you guys may have to settle at least for a little while for watching me fumble through regular jobs for some time. I honestly don't know yet. I'm still trying other ways to make some money, trying to figure out how to get the time and the means to launch the woodworking stuff that I've talked about, maybe some course content down the road. It's all just going to take time. I still have faith that we'll get there eventually. And I'm really glad that we have all you amazing people along for the ride with us. Thank you. That's all she wrote for Mrs. Savage's bathroom floor. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I want to say a special thank you to all of our members and to everybody that's contributed to the GoFundMe, everyone that's had our backs through all the crap we've been dealing with this year, everybody that's been wishing AJ a speedy recovery. That means a lot to us. I know it means a lot to her too. So thank you guys. I don't know what we're doing next. Probably more Cherry Street stuff because that's where I'll be the rest of the month, trying to get it done. So I will see you all on the next one, wherever and whenever it is. But until then, just try to remember that we're all going through stuff inside and outside of our minds and bodies every day. Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's not. You never know when something that you do for someone else or to someone else could either be the last straw for them or their saving grace. So try to be kind when you can, you know, and if nobody else has told you today, you're still here. And for that, I'm proud of you. And me and Baby Larry want to let you know that you are doing a good job. And we love you. Bye.
You're drunk, Daddy.
Thank you, baby.